Hey everyone, Chris from Hit the Books podcast here. Want to thank you all for waiting so patiently. This episode that you're about to watch is about 3 weeks late for upload. Unfortunately, some big life events happened, so I wasn't able to finish rendering it. Basically, right after we recorded it, a couple days later, Grant arrived. So please give a warm welcome to baby Grant, born on September 29th. And we'll be returning here very shortly. We plan on recording like normal tomorrow, and we'll have a new episode for you promptly after that. As you can imagine, we've been busy, not getting a lot of sleep here in the Holcomb household. So appreciate your patience and your kindness, and we'll see you again soon. All right. Please enjoy this episode. It was a really fun one. I know it's outdated by a few weeks, but Emery and I really had a lot of fun on that recording, and quite frankly, it was a lot of fun to edit it. So definitely check this episode out. Give us a like and subscribe if you could, and enjoy this episode. All right. We'll see you next week. Hello and welcome to another episode of Hit the Books Podcast. I'm one of your hosts, Chris Holcomb.
And I'm Emery Saunders.
And you'll notice Nick Marlatt is not with us this week. Unfortunately, he had some family things he had to take care of. We expect to see him back in 2 or 3 weeks.
Yeah, I'm pretty sure it was 2 to 3 weeks.
And we're here to bring you all the nerdy news you need to know about this week.
And every other week.
We tried saucy news last week.
I mean, I don't think the news was that saucy.
There was a lot of it, though.
There was a lot, but I think this week's news might be a little more saucy than last time.
I don't know if saucy is the right word.
I think someone's trying to be goated with the sauce with at least a little bit of this news.
I mean, if you consider being waterboarded with the sauce, then yes, it is saucy.
I think someone's a little salty.
I'm very salty. So, of course, if you're not familiar with the show, we run you through all the news you need to know about in the world of nerddom, and you can always follow up and watch our D&D Twitch stream on twitch.tv/those natural ones. Of course, starring
myself, Emery Saunders, as the of many names. I think my favorite so far is the Alabaster Arcanist. I play an albino spell slinger named Elric, which may or may not be a direct reference to a character from a series of novels. Any and all likeness is purely coincidental.
It's not. Sue his ass!
No!
And of course, Nick Marlatt is the Dungeon Master.
Yes. Who is sort of quietly being, filled in for with our favorite, our very own, Sir Patrick Stewart.
Yay! Yay! All right. Welcome to the podcast, Sir Pat Stew. We know you're the homie. You're hanging out with us every week. And we appreciate you stepping in a big spot to replace Nick.
Number 1.
Of course, we can never replace Nick.
Number 1, I order you to take a number 2.
But what I'm not saying is that Patrick Stewart is number 2. Do with that what you will.
Anytime Patrick Stewart is anywhere, he's always the captain. He's not even number 1. He's always one step above.
He's the captain's captain.
The best captain. I don't care what anyone says about Captain Kirk. Patrick Stewart's the best.
He is! God damn it.
Except for his own show, Picard, We're not going to talk about that show.
See, I'm so excited for that show that I still haven't watched. But you just keep killing my enthusiasm.
Is it a complete undoing of the character? Is it elder abuse?
Yes. All right, we should probably get to it. Of course, if you're watching and listening, you can always watch us on YouTube. You can find us on Stitcher, iTunes, Podbean, Spotify, Amazon Music and Podcasts, you name it.
All of them.
If you would like to find us on something else, please shoot us an email at HitTheBooksVids at gmail.com. That's VIDS, of course. You can tweet at us at HTBVids, and you can reach out to us on Facebook at facebook.com/HitTheBooks.
And while you can listen to us in any and all of those locations, be assured we reward you for watching on YouTube.
Thank you. All right. Well, Emery, what have you been up to this week?
Cyberpunk.
So you finally dove in.
I finally dove in, jacked in, and I'm in too deep.
Oh,
I'm in too deep.
Emery.
Oh my god, I'm in too deep. I don't know which way is up, and I can't get out.
So you love it. You like it?
And like it took them a while to fix the game, but they kind of fixed the game, and it's still not what I was hoping for, given all of the material leading up to the game finally being released. But look, I just want to hack the planet. That's all I want.
Well, the nice thing is, once you get finished with that game, which you probably never will because it's a CD Projekt Red game, you can
missions everywhere. Oh my god.
It's true.
I mean,
all of it.
I thought GTA 5 was nuts. Good fucking god. Like, this has the pleasant veneer of a cyberpunk dystopian future where nothing is sacred, everything is profane. We're all just a bunch of meat puppets who want to put metal in themselves to get a little bit ahead.
When does Judge Dredd show up?
Well, the nukes haven't dropped yet.
Ah, damn.
You gotta wait for the nukes.
Yeah, you're right. You're right.
Like, it's only when the nukes drop that then we have to, institute a series and collection of unilateral, deciders of people's fate.
So you start with the RoboCop, you get the nukes, and then you get the Judge Dredd.
And then you get the Judge Dredd.
See, rookie mistake, my bad.
Yeah.
But it sounds like you're enjoying yourself.
It's a lot of fun.
Nice.
Just like modding, like modifying my body and upgrading my cyberware hacking skills and all that. And just being able to drive through a futuristic city, occasionally shoot up an entire place and leave, and not really be followed by the cops at all. They have bigger fish to fry every time, apparently.
That's convenient.
It's very convenient. I will say this, though. The thing that encouraged me to get into the game was a little anime that was released recently.
And that's what I was going to go for. Once you finish the game, you can go enjoy the anime. But it sounds like you did the opposite.
I worked backwards on this one.
See, Final Fantasy did it to you. Now you're conditioned.
I'm conditioned
to not
to
play
doing the
game.
homework. I'm conditioned to doing the homework and reading and seeing all of the ancillary material before actually buying the game. And mind you, this is the one time where it paid off.
Final Fantasy 15 has ruined you. I apologize, sir.
Now, see, here's the thing with that. This show succeeds where Final Fantasy 15's anime, if you can call it that, fails. Cyberpunk Edge Runners while it does do the same thing that Final Fantasy 15 does by making a story that takes place before the events of the game, it has the good sense to actually tell a complete fucking story.
Wow, what a concept.
You can actually make an anime based in that same world and tell a complete story that doesn't even ask you to play the game in order to finish the story.
No.
These are two well-made, at this point for the game, these are two well-made separate products that you can enjoy separately without having to hope that they interact with each other. But the bonus kicker is that since that anime was released, there was an update that let you be able to find things related to that anime.
Wow, that's pretty cool.
Yeah.
Look at CD Projekt Red. Just keep supporting their stuff, making it better. Thank you.
It's almost...
I know you fucked up. You fucked up royally.
It's almost like they knew they fucked up, and they've been trying to make up for it for 2 goddamn years.
It's like that South Park BP oil spill episode, where he keeps like, "We're sorry." He's naked on a rug in front of a fireplace. "We're sorry. We're sorry."
I promise we're gonna fix it. And they've been working hard at fixing it, and this anime has actually had a very interesting effect in the common modern zeitgeist. Apparently, I'm not the only one who thought to get into the game after watching the anime.
Wow. So there's a new movement?
I think there's a new movement.
Reconnaissance?
I think that the numbers, at least on Steam, have skyrocketed in terms of concurrent players playing that game.
Look at that. Such a redemption story. That's nice. That's nice. And it's appropriate that we mentioned Final Fantasy in this discussion already, because they also had a huge blunder of a release with Final Fantasy 14.
Ooh.
And then they had to make a new game. Which they did.
From the ground up.
At cost. And they said, sorry. We're sorry.
I swear we're going to fix it.
It's good now. Please play it.
And now it is probably the single biggest MMO to date.
Yeah. No doubt about it. I have a lot of friends that just keep trying to recruit me to play it. I'm like, it's already gone. I'm so late to the party. I'm not getting in this now. No, thank you. I remember all the sleepless MMO nights when I was testing all the free trials of World of Warcraft and what was the other one? Rift. Rift was another one. Tibia. I don't know if you ever played Tibia, the top-down one.
No.
Yeah. That's the one where I got my first real experience with online RPG, where I got robbed.
Oh, no.
For real. It was a slightly higher level player that had gone further, so I assumed I can trust them. They're like, "Oh, I'll show you where to access this thing." And I'm like, "All right, cool. I'll go to the access." And he goes, "You go down there." I'm like, "All right." I go down this ladder. The bottom of the ladder has a ton of furniture filling the entire room that he had placed there. And it was like a small room, and it was placed in a way that you can't leave the entrance spot of the little ladder or whatever. And the only way to go back up the ladder is to take a step away from the ladder and then go back up the ladder. And then he held me hostage and told me to give him all the gold I had. And he somehow knew the exact total that I had in my inventory, so clearly he was more capable than I gave him credit for.
What the fuck?
And he would not let me out.
This man held you hostage in a
man
video
held me
game?
hostage in a video game. When I was like 12 years old. And eventually I tried giving him a fake amount, which is how I knew he knew how much was in my inventory. I gave him like 10 gold or whatever, and I had like 100 something. And he's like, I know you got more than this. You have blah, 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 blah in your inventory. I'm like, what? Like, just let me out. He's like, give me your gold. And then I exited out. Like, I didn't play for a week. And then I came back and there was no more chairs.
You just close out the game. Go to a different server.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. It's a very traumatizing digital experience.
A little bit.
And the worst part is it was like, top-down chibi characters, like 16-bit art at best. And I got robbed.
Wait, he actually got your gold?
He got part of it because I gave him the fake amount.
Oh,
so he would let me out.
You just gave him the 10.
And he knew what I had. So frustrating.
It's like you gave it to him and then he said, I know you have more than this.
Yeah, and you can't kill somebody where we were at. You can kill somebody once you go beyond the certain borders.
Right.
But he couldn't kill me there.
Oh.
So.
Planned it.
He was a genius. An evil genius. But a genius.
That bastard. Terrorizing a 12-year-old.
On a, 16-bit MMO.
God.
On dial-up internet.
That's so dumb.
And I waited there I was waiting for him to just give up and leave for like an hour.
You tried to wait him out.
He wouldn't leave. He wanted my fucking gold. It was tragic.
Some people can't be reasoned or negotiated with.
And I'm pretty sure if I had given him everything, he wouldn't have let me out.
Oh, no.
Because, internet.
Oh, the early days of MMOs.
So back to Cyberpunk.
Back to Cyberpunk.
How far in it are you?
Well, I'm definitely in the portion where Keanu Reeves won't fucking leave me alone.
I was gonna ask, how do you like Keanu Reeves in the role?
He is the prototypical, archetypical punk. I mean, when it comes to realizing the kind of character that would be so fucking blindly anti-corporation to the point where, like, they're starting to spout off shit that sounds really cool until you think about it for, like, a few minutes, and it's like that. If you were to try to implement that, there would be no big business and, like, 1,000 small businesses where all of these small businesses, because there's so fucking many, would immediately go out of business and end up having to make a corporation anyway.
See, this is the episode where we need Nick in here with his Eat the Rich talk to counteract your argument.
Yeah, I'm sure he would very much be with Keanu on this one, where he's all corporate greed.
Nailed it.
Yes, that one's for you, Nick.
Rest in peace.
Now, mind you, this is almost entirely about corporate greed, but it's only about corporate greed specifically in comparison to your own personal greed.
Which is abundant, as I understand.
Yeah, the entire point of the game is to make money. You go on these dangerous missions, which might be heists. It might be just killing a bunch of people who, you've been tasked with killing because you're just you're a mercenary. You are a mercenary who is living in the town in which you are doing all of your jobs. Because apparently capitalism is a son of a bitch, and you don't have the money to escape or to No, I'm not going to give it away. What I was about to say was a spoiler, which is basically the impetus for the entire story of the game, which may or may not be directly tied to why Keanu Reeves will never leave you alone.
Hey, listen!
Shut the fuck up, Keanu! I get it! Corporate greed is bad.
Hey, listen.
Hey, I have had enough of you. Just shut up and let me live my life. Yes, I know corporations are bad and evil and full of corporate greed. But let's not bullshit and act like I'm not a greedy son of a bitch playing this game, goddammit.
I mean, you're literally murdering people for the fuck of it. So.
Literally. There might be like
it's a coin toss.
There might be the occasional mission where I'm doing something silly like engaging in a foot race for the sake of proving to this local group of people who might be a gang that I've got what it takes.
That's classic Grand Theft Auto, like bullshit side mission.
Or getting into, and I shit you not, a bare fist fight tournament so that I can prove to whoever is holding this tournament that I've got what it takes.
You know where else they did that? The Witcher. So, enjoy.
Are you saying that some of this might be recycled?
Copy and paste. Yeah, exactly. In first person.
It might be like a 1-for-1.
Yeah,
It sounds like a 1-for-1.
Yeah, maybe. Don't worry, they give you 100 question marks, but they're all the same.
Motherfuck!
The Ubisoft syndrome.
Yeah, I will say it's interesting how these missions are laid out, specifically because of all of the different ways that you can approach them. Whereas in The Witcher, like, it's all sword and magic and that's it. In Cyberpunk, you are hacking your way, you are shooting your way, you're occasionally talking your way, you are driving your way, like, there's a whole lot of cars, there's a whole lot of motorcycles, there's races that you can engage in that aren't on foot, that are actually in vehicles, like what is it, like almost like a Forza Motorsport type deal.
Nice.
Yeah.
All right.
There's a lot of variety, I'll say that much. But yeah, a lot of the missions, even if you are working for the police or for a gang or for a corporation or for a seedy fucking politician, it all comes down to a gunfight usually.
And gunfights are fun.
Gunfights are fun, especially when you add in the spice of, oh, I'm going to hack their cyber eyes so that way they're blinded. Or I'm going to hack into their brain to overclock them to the point that their body literally spontaneously combusts.
Amazing.
It's amazing. It's wild. Buy the game. I think it's half off right now.
Yeah, I'm sure it's super cheap at this point.
Yeah. It's fucking get the game. It's good now.
They should release a new advertisement campaign that's just the tagline. It's good now. Well, that's wonderful. I'm glad you're enjoying that. That brings me hope. I'm glad that CD Projekt Red redeemed themselves to an extent. Of course, we did talk maybe 3 weeks ago about how they aren't supporting any more updates for the past gen versions, which, you know, you probably shouldn't have released the past gen versions in the first place.
Oh, yeah, they learned that mistake real quick.
Yeah, which I feel like a lot of developers are still making that mistake. Looking at you, God of War.
It's almost like they saw the problem of a whole bunch of people being outbid, like literally outbid on these next-gen consoles because a bunch of assholes decided to use their money, their vast amounts of money, to buy up the product and then resell it at a higher price because they knew
and make a lot more money.
like fucking corporate greed, assholes. What the fuck?
We should go Cyberpunk on their asses.
Oh god, somebody give me a cyber eye so I can hack into them right now.
Hacker man. Anything else you've been up to? Reading, watching, listening?
So I've been watching She-Hulk. And we're on episode 6.
Are you guys trying to get me to watch this show? Because if so, you guys are both doing a terrible job of it.
Nick might. I am not.
Now that's a surprise. Because usually when something's terrible, you force it upon me without mercy.
Yes, Schadenfreude is a wonderful thing. That being said, this show... It's almost like it took this show for me to realize that superheroes are kind of antithetical to the concept of a sitcom.
Yeah, I'd say that's appropriate. I mean, maybe X-Men in school, you know?
Okay, that's less a sitcom.
X-Men Evolution, the live-action series.
Okay, that's less a
Smallville.
That's less a sitcom and more a daytime drama.
Yeah, that's fair. Yeah, that's fair.
Like if Deadpool suddenly got his own TV show, yes, I would expect it to be like the craziest version of Seinfeld I've ever seen. But we're on She-Hulk, where apparently writing courtroom drama is difficult.
I mean, it's a courtroom drama about a big green lady.
It's a courtroom drama about a lady who doesn't want to be a big green lady. Even though the entire world is saying, why aren't you being the big green lady? We want you to be the big green lady. Which is kind of wild considering that we live in a world where... Oh! Yeah, I remember that one time the Hulk destroyed like an entire like African city. Ah, it's fine. It's fine. We're fine. Everything's fine.
And then he went off in space for reasons.
Again.
And now he's just a friendly giant thing with glasses.
No, let me be clear. Episode 1 ends with Bruce Banner as the Hulk going off into space again.
What? But why?
Oh! I should probably clue you in as to how She-Hulk becomes She-Hulk.
Okay, before we get to that.
Okay.
Full context. Yes, this is the realm of nerddom.
Uh-huh.
Yes, I have a lot to catch up on. I don't watch these series as they come out. I watch them once they've come completely out, and then I binge them. This is why I'm not watching She-Hulk. It's not to make a stand against how poor it is, because I'm just getting secondhand information at this point.
I mean, all of this is going to be secondhand.
Now, please continue telling me how terrible it is.
Okay. So, to contrast, in the comics, Jen Walters ends up needing a blood transfusion directly from her cousin, Bruce Banner. For one reason or another, it might have been like, oh, she got caught in the crossfire of some like mob hit or something like that. In this first episode, she becomes the She-Hulk by being in a car with Bruce that's randomly attacked by a spaceship from fucking who knows where. And then somehow Banner in his human form accidentally gets his blood on her blood.
Hot.
Gross!
Proceed. I mean, we all know in the comics they exchange bodily fluids at one point, and it's very disturbing.
It is a very heroic blood transfusion.
If there's one thing Marvel loves, it's incest stories. We all know it's true.
How dare you?
DC may do cocaine, and a lot of it, but they rarely do the incest stories.
No, they just have Batman basically be somewhere between Master Splinter and Jeffrey Epstein.
We don't talk about that.
They literally had, in the Harley Quinn show, Batman show up to the Court of Owls, which turned into an Eyes Wide Shut episode.
By the way, Harley Quinn, that show is fucking fantastic. If you have
It
HBO
has
Max,
no right being that good.
it's so good.
No right!
If you have HBO Max and you have even the smallest familiarity with the Batman universe, watch it. It's so fucking good. It, like you said, it has no right to be. It is so fucking great. All right, continue. Sorry.
You know they made Nightwing a bitch in that show, right?
It was hilarious. I don't care. I forgive them.
That's how much they broke you.
Speaking of Nightwing, apparently he's becoming the center of the DC universe in this next Crisis incident.
In his Jesus Christ pose.
Don't kill him, please. They always want to murder him in these events. And then they back out because fan backlash is too strong. Don't kill my circus boy.
It's like they're so embarrassed. They're so embarrassed by Dick Grayson.
They really are.
I mean, they might be less embarrassed if he wasn't basically the prettier version of Daredevil, but you know, that's neither here nor there.
Yeah. Leave Nightwing alone.
Yeah, back to She-Hulk. So yeah. Oh no, my blood! Don't let my blood touch her blood! Oh no!
Also, since when has this been how that works?
Never.
That's like in the comics, she has like a near-death incident, and he saves her by like irradiating her, right?
It's literally a blood transfusion because she lost so much.
All right. In this case, they just spill some.
It's just like if you mix the two just a little bit, she somehow immediately. It's not even like a sudden thing where she has to be pissed off. It's like an immediate type of situation.
That's fun.
Is it?
Look, Emery, they only had 9 episodes to flesh this character out, all right? They couldn't spend any worthless time trying to give you a proper transformation or an explanation or a blood transfusion. You know how long that takes? Splish splash, I was taking a bath.
5 minutes. They could have spent 5 minutes depicting, yeah, we have to make a quick stop. Another car pulls up. Guns down her car with the both of them in it. And then, like, next scene, we're not even, like, at minute, 2 of watching, how she becomes the Hulk. She wakes up in hospital bed, wondering what the fuck happened. Was it, a bunch of hitmen that were trying to shoot her because she actually got someone locked up behind bars? Who knows? All you know is that she got shot, and that she wakes up next to, her cousin, who's giving her a blood transfusion. Because she lost a lot of blood from being shot the fuck up.
There it is.
There it is.
There it is. Hire him. He's brilliant.
Oh my god. It's almost like I read the comic. Here's the thing that chaps my ass.
Your ass is so chapped at this point.
Oh my god.
We have done 67 episodes of this show, and there has not been a single episode that you were on where you did not have a chapped ass.
Oh my god.
At this point, I have to ask, as your friend, do you need some chapstick for that ass?
No, I'm just gonna keep toughening my butt.
I don't know if that's how chapping works.
See, if you chap something long enough, you eventually build up a callus.
Or you just buy a nice pair of chaps.
How dare you?
You're welcome.
Yeah, you're unbelievable.
Mediocre. Thank you. Like and subscribe. Thank you.
Like and subscribe. You son of a bitch.
Continue. My bad. We haven't even
eh,
gotten to the news yet.
Yeah, no, we haven't.
There's good news coming, I promise.
Because with She-Hulk, apparently we were so against her getting her powers directly from a man as opposed to just, oh, it's haphazardly an accident. I'm not going to let this character save that character for whatever reason. We're then going to show episodes of a character who doesn't want to be the main character. It's like, why do they keep calling me She-Hulk? It's demeaning and degrading, and it's almost like they think that my superhero name can't exist without this previous character who came before.
All right.
They literally have her, like, say that out loud.
That's unfortunate. What would she like to be called?
She never really gets around to it because she never wants to be the She-Hulk.
See, that's the thing with criticism. You gotta give an alternative if you don't want the thing to happen.
They literally have an episode of her trying to date using something like Tinder.
Well, isn't that wonderful?
There's literally a Tinder episode.
Well, here's the thing. I don't know what happened in this episode, but in the real world, if there was a big, strong, jacked, Dommy Mommy Hulk version, I mean, her inbox would be flooded.
Oh, they addressed that.
With simps.
They addressed that.
Thank you.
They addressed that in the most wet blanket way possible.
Oh, no.
They first have her make an account with her regular face, and it's like a regular bullshit that you would find on someone's Tinder bio. And then she realizes that, oh, no one is interested in regular her. And then she says, looking into the camera because she's breaking the fourth wall, she's not proud of this, as she makes a She-Hulk Tinder bio that gets flooded just like you said. But the moral of the story is, if we're operating on morals anymore, why can't they just love Jen Walters for Jen Walters?
You know, you have reasons.
Okay, I'll tell you what the
maybe
biggest...
the fact that she isn't Jen Walters anymore, and she needs to find a way to accept who she is instead of catfishing people with who she formerly was and cannot return to be.
See, here's the funny thing about that. That episode was a setup for 2 episodes later. Someone trademarks her name before she does, and she has to go to court to establish that, oh, this other person who literally exploded a courtroom and tried to kick me in the face shouldn't be using my name just because she fucking trademarked it before I did. They spent an episode in court establishing that just because she didn't trademark it doesn't mean that someone else gets to, and they establish legitimacy by using every single person that she went on a date with as She-Hulk to legitimize her case, to say, I know I said, like, at one point in front of the camera that I don't want to be called She-Hulk, but here's clearly a list of people that I went on a date with only because they wanted to date She-Hulk, because I made a She-Hulk Tinder bio. So clearly I have, in some way, shape, or form, accepted that that's just what I am.
This sounds like a big waste of time.
Oh, you mean filler episodes?
Did this season really need to be 9 episodes of this? Have they introduced an actual, like, overarching point yet?
Or villain?
I know that was Nick's biggest complaint, yes.
Well, there's a whole lot of speculation as to
What episode are we on?
6
Out of
9.
And we don't know who the villain is?
She has been attacked in public 3 times. Twice of which were by the same person who, I shit you not, is just an influencer. The person who trademarked her name was using it to sell beauty products. And then gets into a fight with her directly in front of a whole bunch of people at a wedding.
I know this doesn't play well for the audio listeners, but I'm giving a very flabbergasted look at the camera. And I'm not staging it.
Yeah, no, this is real.
Okay. All right.
Although
I'm gonna watch it because I'm going to watch it, but I don't want to watch it.
So far, the most exciting thing has been a subplot, which is saying a lot in a show that feels like it doesn't have any plot, where She-Hulk's regular person assistant gets to handle a case for one of the Great Lakes Avengers, Mr. Immortal, because apparently he's been getting out of marriages by basically staging suicides. For regular people, you only get one.
That's amazing. I love that concept.
9 marriages.
Maybe they should just make a 9 episode series about Mr. Immortal.
Mr. Immortal, the
and just every episode is him trying to figure a way out of his current family.
the ever-living, ever-loving philanderer who just goes from marriage to marriage.
That's amazing.
Oh my god.
Yeah.
I don't want to admit that would be interesting.
I would totally watch that.
I don't want to admit that would be interesting.
Admit it!
No! You can't make me! It would be more interesting than the show that he actually shows up in.
All right. Well, there you got it.
Oh,
She-Hulk.
A teaser. The dumbest teaser for Daredevil. The one that we've been waiting for this whole time to show up in this fucking show.
Ketchup and mustard.
They're killing me with this bullshit. The teaser for him showing up is for a wedding. Or not for a wedding, for showing up in court. She-Hulk needs a new suit because the clothes that she's wearing, they're just for really tall people. And when she shrinks down to normal form, it looks like she's a child wearing big people clothes. So they go to someone who makes super suits, like their very own Edna Mode.
Wait a second. All of that's stupid. But so the whole thing with her being upset that she's She-Hulk and that people call her She-Hulk and that she exists as She-Hulk, she can go back to her normal form?
On command.
What? Then what's the point? What's the point?
We actually, in the latest episode, realized that she has trouble hulking out when she's drunk.
But what is the point then? What is the point of any of this?
Oh, you're asking the question that literally most people have been asking about this show from day one.
I had no idea. I had no idea that she could change back on command.
That's they actually established that in episode 1.
That just, I was kind of like, okay, I get it. Like up to this point, that revelation you just ruined the entire point of the character development.
See, you were hearing all of the secondhand information, but you were under the belief that it was all done under the premise that she was just stuck as She-Hulk.
Yes. Because that was the point of I'm She-Hulk. I can't be anything else.
Oh, you sweet summer child.
See, this is what happens when I put too much faith into Disney. Like, I've trusted you. You've given us a lot of great stuff. What are you doing?
We're trying to make a point about not someone who is forced to be this green thing because they don't have the means to go back. This is about being forced to be the green thing because of societal expectations?
What? But you don't have to be the green thing. At all.
Literally no one can force you.
That's like pretending to be a cancer victim, you know?
Oh!
Like, I have cancer, but I'm overcoming my fight with cancer. But you have the ability to completely remove cancer from your body at any point with the snap of your finger.
I should mention that...
Like, I just want to be a victim. Snap. Okay, now I'm going to rest at home.
I should mention that one of the people that she goes on a Tinder date with, the one that she actually takes home and takes to bed, with the very famous Death by Snoo Snoo clip that everyone fucking loves, where she's carrying the dude into the bed. That person plays a doctor who works on children who are cancer patients.
Well, isn't that wonderful?
But he dumps her when the next morning he sees regular Jennifer Walters. And he's like, oh, I thought I was dating She-Hulk. But you're not like that all the time, so I'm not interested.
She can turn back at any time. You're a doctor. I'm sure you can work this out.
I want him to like me for me.
Also, you work with children cancer patients, and you're having sex with the radioactive lady. Don't you think that's kind of a workplace danger? You're bringing back your radioactive dick around these dying children?
Oh!
Because you want your death by snoo snoo?
Oh!
What are you doing? What? All right, I'm done. I'm going to watch it. I'm going to ridicule it. And that'll be all she wrote.
I almost don't want Daredevil to show up in the show.
Yeah. You're going to get it, though. Because he's a lawyer. And she's a lawyer.
But this new version of Edna Mode that they came up with just has his mustard helmet. He's like, oh, no, don't show that. This isn't supposed to be shown yet.
Premiering Devil Dog.
Why? Why?
Yeah.
Why does this LA-based Edna Mode have a costume for New York-based, very poor, blind lawyer?
She doesn't like capes.
Oh my god.
Everybody in LA wants capes. She doesn't do capes. So she has a proxy studio in New York. All she has to make is Timberlands and mustard suits. You're welcome.
Ketchup and mustard suits. Ketchup and mustard.
Dollar hot dog.
Somebody fucking kill me.
The superhero.
Somebody fucking kill me.
They just might.
Also, we already had the hot dog superhero. Weirdly, his name is Thor.
Okay.
Oh, you don't remember?
Explain.
You don't remember that part in Thor: Love and Thunder?
No. I don't remember a lot of that movie, I'm going to be honest. I jettisoned the majority of that movie out of my brain after we watched it.
Unfortunately, its trauma on me is etched into my head until the day I die.
By the way, if you have not watched last week's episode, Nick confessing his hatred for Thor: Love and Thunder and how he couldn't get through the movie was one of the funniest things that has ever been talked about at this table. I was dying. Love you, Nick. We miss you.
Yep. We can't wait to have you back. Oh my god, that was...
Go back and watch that.
Oh.
And then like and subscribe.
Thor and his backstory of, oh, this is what my relationship with Jane Foster looked like. We went to parties and sometimes we did Halloween costumes. I
forgot about the Halloween costumes.
And mine was a hot dog.
Oh, yeah. That was fun, wasn't it?
Hot dog Thor, guys.
Yeah.
Is this what you wanted?
That was fun.
Are you not entertained?
Oh. Marvel.
No.
You do so much right. So when you do such a wrong, it hurts more. You know, DC fucks up all the time. It hurts me because I'm a huge DC fanboy. But my expectations are so low that I'm almost impervious to it at this point. Marvel, I'm not impervious to your fuck-ups. It hurts a lot more.
It's because you've done so well for so long that when you fuck up, it's so much more noticeable.
It's like when you raise like the favorite child and then they go off to college and they flunk out and get addicted to drugs. And now you're just like, looking at the child that you had all these high hopes and expectations for.
I invested
and now he's a
so
complete
much time into you.
Oh, Marvel. We'll see.
Hopefully, I never have to watch She-Hulk feel so bad about showing up as She-Hulk and feeling good about herself for once that she shrieks down to human form to appease a fucking bridezilla.
I mean, to be fair, you can do it at any point. And you've spent 99.9% of your life as the regular human being. And now you're going to come to the wedding as a big green snoo-snoo and obviously take all the attention away from the bride. Now, if you could not change into your normal human form, that wouldn't be a problem. We understand. It's your condition.
Yeah.
It's who you are now.
We would all understand. Sort of like how we kind of all understood when it came to the regular Hulk. We understood that his situation was kind of out of his hands. Except it wasn't. Oh my god. Literally, the first Avengers movie is him showing how he can do it on command. It's like, you know what my secret is, Captain? I'm always angry.
And then you got an ED.
And I had to use the suit that Tony beat me up with.
I never thought of it like that. But that is factually true. My God. Bruce Banner is such an unfortunate human being who is now apparently in space.
You mean
again?
You weren't prepared for the slowly continual embitching of Bruce Banner?
Has there, as much as we want to complain about She-Hulk, has there ever been a character that Marvel has handled worse, a primary character, than Hulk through the years?
Oh, you mean that character that they don't have fully the rights to? That they keep having to sidestep and dodge? What the fuck was that company that has him? Universal? Whichever fucking company has him?
I don't know which one you're talking about right now.
Yeah.
There was several that Universal had control of.
Yeah.
Daredevil and a few others.
I think Namor is one of them. And now we're putting Namor in a Black Panther movie.
Nah. Most people don't even know who Namor is. It's only us nerds. Everybody knows who Hulk is, though. And we've had 3 of them.
Oh, people are about to learn who Namor is.
Yeah.
In like a month.
Yeah. We'll see.
Dumbass little footy wings.
That movie looks like it could be incredible. Wakanda Forever. But
there's also
there's some concerns.
There's a very strong possibility that they could fumble it in the 3rd act.
Yeah. Yeah. Speaking of fumbling in the 3rd act, we have some Patty Jenkins news.
Oh, no.
Later today.
Oh, no.
Look forward to that. All right. Anything else you've been watching, listening to, reading?
No, that's pretty much it.
All right. Well, much like last week, I'm still on Baby Watch 2022.
Ooh.
So the due date is actually tomorrow, as the point we're recording this. Tomorrow is September 24th. And that's the date she's supposed to pop. Doesn't seem like that's going to happen, though, based on her doctor visit today. So,
yeah.
If there is a delayed episode next week, or a delayed upload, or there isn't a recording next week, that is why. Baby arrived. We're busy. But we will be back very shortly afterwards. And I'll probably put up some short clips or some lost episodes in the meantime, since I'll be obviously at home. So, really excited for that. Baby Grant is on his way. Sooner or later.
A child that you can slowly induct into the ways of the nerd.
Yeah. It'll be fun to indoctrinate him in all the things that scar me in life.
Oh, God.
Bengals football.
Watch him slowly
DC
actually
comics.
end up turning into a jock.
Just in rebellion. My dad's such a dork.
You're never going to understand me, Dad.
Slam.
I like sports.
This Letterman jacket.
I don't care about comic books.
I want to give kids wedgies.
I was a bully today.
You don't understand me, Dad. I hate you. Get out of my room.
Get out of my room, Dad. I'm popular.
That would be the dynamic I would end up with. I can already see it. But I did get to play some more of the Tony Hawk Pro Skater 1 and 2 remaster collection, which, again, you can get pretty much for free if you have some of the higher tiers of the PlayStation Plus. I think it actually was the free game maybe 2 months ago.
Yeah, it was the free game for PlayStation Plus, although I don't remember if it's just like one of the constant things that they offer on PlayStation Premium, but who knows?
Yeah, go check it out.
Yeah. In either case, it's a really good game. You should play it.
Yeah, it's great. It's wonderful. I'm really enjoying it. Like we were talking about it last week too. Music's great.
God, the music makes me feel like I'm 12 again. Fucking.
Yeah, definitely a lot of nostalgia. I forgot how to switch characters, and I literally beat the entire first game
as Tony Hawk
because I couldn't remember how to change the characters and couldn't find it anywhere. And then when I started playing the second one, I was like, oh, here it is. I can play as other people.
Oh, yeah. I immediately created my own skater.
Yeah.
Immediately.
One thing that's pretty cool is they added a lot of modern skaters to the game too. So it's
Yeah.
not just like the old skaters that were there in the original releases. And it seems like they might have had some rights issues trying to get some people's images back in the game and some music back in the game.
Right.
Because I there are some that seem to be missing, if my memory is correct, which, you know,
really old game from the 90s.
it's hard to
There might
say
be
my
a few
memory is
things
correct.
missing.
But yeah, it does seem like maybe there's some right shortcuts that they had to just work around. But, I mean, why would you say no to an easy paycheck? I mean, you're not-
like it's
yeah.
right there.
I mean, nobody's really...
like this is...
Are
like,
the X Games even a thing anymore? Like,
I-
skating's kind of dead. I don't know. I feel like skateboarding died when, like, Bam got kicked out of Jackass.
Ooh.
Bam was, like, the last bastion of, like, recognizable skateboarding.
Well, I mean, he was a very profitable face, for sure.
Yeah.
That being said, Bam Margera got into a lot of trouble.
He sure did. He sure did. Yeah.
And, like...
Get well soon.
Yeah.
Get healthy.
Get healthy. If you are healthy, stay healthy. Yeah, I think that was one of the things that I remember, like, specifically with I think it was CKY and Jackass and that whole crew that intermingled with the whole, like, Tony Hawk Pro Skater crew.
Yeah.
Is that there was this there was a level of agreed upon culture. Like, everyone was kind of like, we're all together on, like, this whole skater culture that we've cultivated this whole time.
Yeah.
And it never went anywhere.
Yeah.
It remained the same for like 20 something years, and it's been...
Yeah, it just didn't get sustained very well. And I don't know why.
Right.
Maybe somebody with a better marketing brain than me, but like X Games was huge. Tony Hawk was like your guy. He was the Tiger Woods. He was the Tom Brady. He was the Michael Jordan that got the sport popular.
He was the big deal.
And then when he just stopped doing his big tricks, like after the 900 and all that stuff, like after that, he kind of rode out on the video games, and like he's still great. Like he still has a huge internet presence, and he has his podcasts and there's I think a radio show on Sirius XM, but now he's just known for screaming at kids and telling them to do a kickflip, like, that's
a
Tony Hawk.
kickflip. It's like, okay, we get it. A bunch of people yelled that at you in the past.
Yeah.
Now you're returning the favor, I guess.
They need a new face, like a new generational face. And I think part of it, I've heard him talk in podcasts. He was actually here in Columbus, I think
shit.
yesterday, because his father actually designed a skate park here in Columbus. And he was coming to visit it and kind of remember his father. And he
oh my God.
He actually asked the city to like help repave it and, refurnish it. But yeah, you can, if you live anywhere near Columbus, Ohio, or you want to visit, go check out Tony Hawk's father's skate park that's here in Columbus, Ohio, of all places.
Of all places.
Yeah. California kid. Why did they build a skate park in Columbus, Ohio? Nobody knows.
Do
But hey.
all roads and entertainment lead back to Ohio?
Apparently.
I have a theory about this.
Yeah, we'll talk more about Ohio when we maybe discuss a little AEW news.
Oh, shit.
Jon Moxley.
Ooh, big shit.
So, it's a little upsetting, but he's talked in podcasts about how he thinks like the transition from ramp vertical skating to street inline skating has been kind of what caused this impetus of decline in like the hype for skateboarding, because now like everybody can do a kickflip, everybody can do an ollie, everybody can kiss a rail, do the basic tricks, but
no one's reaching for the 900.
Yeah, and I mean they're technically challenging for sure.
Yeah.
But nobody's going out and buying your VHS anymore,
Oh.
Yeah, that's how he got popular, making VHS tapes, all of these guys. And selling them,
This would
for
be the
fun.
kind of thing that you literally need, like, a viral moment with, like, YouTube or TikTok or something like that to get basically a fire lit under everyone's ass again.
Yeah, and I mean, now you can go on TikTok or YouTube, like you were saying, and there's 12 million people doing that same trick,
Right.
And you come up with something new, well, some kid in Japan or Korea or, Philadelphia or Mexico is going to do it twice as good the next day
Right.
and upload it,
Or like do an actual fucking combo.
Yeah.
It's like, oh, let me do this trick, which goes into that trick, which then goes into that trick.
Yeah.
Please bring that shit back.
I mean, Tony Hawk teaching Jack Black how to skateboard is now like the pinnacle of skateboarding. That's what people are looking for. It's so dead, and it makes me sad.
Yeah, it's unfortunate, but it kind of feels weirdly much like the very short-lived inline skating or rollerblading.
Yeah.
The life cycle for the rollerblade, which was far shorter than it was for the skateboard, but the skateboard, it feels like it's kind of getting there.
Yeah, I mean, skateboarding, I think, is probably the longest lived. BMX kind of died out a little bit earlier.
Yeah,
inline didn't even have a chance. Like, they came and went real quick, and I was a big rollerblade fan. Like, I had rollerblades. My neighbor Will Carroll and his older brother JT Carroll, we would skate together, and like JT would always like show these tricks, and I'd be way overconfident and be like, oh yeah, I could do that. I could not do that. Yeah, half the time I'd be too scared to even try. So yeah,
skates like that are pretty much not a thing because the places where you would use them the most aren't really a thing anymore.
Yeah,
no one goes to Are there skate rinks that exist anymore?
I don't know. Maybe. Maybe.
Like here and there that local towns are keeping alive. And
I also think longboarding has helped kill the skateboarding enterprise.
All
these fucking college.
If it wasn't for that fucking movie, The Lords of Dogtown.
Oh my god. The longboarders in Columbus, Ohio. You realize how flat Ohio is? There is nowhere to longboard properly. You are just skateboarding on a board that you can't do tricks on. It's annoying.
It's like we're surfing and catching, the waves,
You're fucking
right?
going slow and blocking traffic. Like, just walk. You could literally walk faster than you're moving right now. There are no hills in Ohio. Don't longboard on the campus in Ohio. It's pointless. All right.
But I want a longboard. It's cool.
Well, you killed something that actually was cool. Your goddamn longboards. All right. Old man rant over.
Oh, yelling at clouds again.
Yeah.
Ah!
Get a hoverboard. At least those light up and look cool. The Segway without a stick.
First of all, those things are not hoverboards. Those things are hoverboards in name only. Those are basically, like you just said, Segways without the goddamn stick.
Exactly.
That being said, Tony Hawk got to ride both a fake hoverboard and an actual real working hoverboard, which is interesting to think about. Have you heard or have you seen the video where he rides like a for real hoverboard?
I watched it one time, but I don't remember the context of it or anything.
Oh, yeah. They found out a way to do magnetic levitation with this board to where it like sits like an inch above the basically sheet of metal that it has to have underneath it for it to work.
Yeah.
And he got to ride it for a little bit and very quickly realized that hoverboarding is a completely different animal to like actual skateboarding because like
strap in.
Like with wheels, you have to have some sort of forward momentum.
Mm-hmm.
With a hoverboard in which you basically can go in absolutely any direction at all, you have to basically steady like your entire lower half. And then, like, when you do steady your lower half, you have to basically hope that whatever direction you're in, you plan on going in that direction either, bladed with, like, going side to side, Or you can travel forward like one of those fake ass hoverboards where it's just you're standing on a
Fake ass hoverboards. You're so salty
You
about it.
goddamn right I'm salty. Why did they use that name?
Just to piss you off specifically.
I feel like Ben Affleck's Batman whenever I think about those things. Like, why did you use that name?
Hoverboard. Save hoverboard.
Why did you use that name? Ugh, it hurts.
That's what we do on this show.
You just hurt me. That's all you do.
If you would like to watch me abuse Emery some more, shoot us an email at hitthebooksvids@gmail.com.
Like and subscribe.
Mediocre. Well, that's just a long-winded way of saying, hey, we like the game.
Yes.
If you have the opportunity to play it, you should play it, whether you are a new fan or old fan.
It's good.
It's very good. It's very fun. Go play. And, of course, it's football season, so that eats up a lot of time.
Football season.
I love football. American football for our international listeners.
You do love football, don't you?
I sure do.
Do
The
you
Bengals
love
are
getting
doing terrible.
I was going to say, do you love getting the same game repackaged to you every year?
No. Would you like to talk about the top-selling game of this month?
Was it NFL?
Madden 23.
Madden 23?
You want us to do something different? You want us to change the roster? You want us to improve the mechanics? Do you? No, you don't. Because you're going to keep buying this shit every year for the rest of your life. We don't have to change a goddamn thing. Because you're going to buy this at full price.
EA?
Every season.
EA?
Until you die.
EA, I'll get you!
Yeah.
Let someone else make a fucking NFL game! Innovate!
Yeah. They really are just using the same fucking mechanics that they used 10 years ago. It still runs like shit. It still plays like shit.
Have they added more gambling mechanics?
They sure have. They sure have. I don't know if our audience is familiar with the Angry Joe show, but if you are,
God.
every year I look forward to his annual ass tearing of the Madden franchise. And
Shout out to Angry Joe.
I think the last one was like 3 hours long, and I was just dying. I was dying. That was his Madden episodes are so good. So shout out to Angry Joe on YouTube. Go watch it.
It's almost become like a new like yearly thing to do. It's like, oh, here comes the new Madden. What did Angry Joe think?
Well, he always plays it.
He always plays it.
He's the problem.
He always plays the game. Look, I know you are a reviewer, but man, sometimes you have got to take a stand.
The problem is it's not atrocious. It's still kind of fun in that old, like, Stockholm Syndrome way.
Oh, like Call of Duty?
Yeah. Like, you know what to expect. They're not going to change it. It's going to be the same thing. It might run worse. It might look worse. It might play worse. It might have more predatory gambling mechanics.
Oh, hide your kids.
But it's still the same game at the core. And you're going to play that same game. And you're going to pretend to enjoy it.
Hide your kids, hide your husbands?
Now, I will say, I do love watching streamers who talk a lot of shit and play Madden. Like, football season is my Madden streamer season because I just love watching them talk a ton of shit and then just get wrecked. And then the off season is my fighting game season, where I watch fighting game players talk a lot of shit and get wrecked.
Okay, at least with a fighting game, you know that when they make a new one in the same, like when they make a sequel, change is coming.
Tekken?
Street Fighter?
Mortal Kombat?
Mortal Kombat.
Yeah.
I mean,
yeah.
You mean you know?
Yeah.
Injustice 3.
Yeah.
The bloodiest boogaloo.
Yes.
Like,
right.
Don't get me wrong. I love these fighting games. But Mortal Kombat 11, why were you making me try to attach different pieces of the costume to a character who should just have a consistent costume?
Yeah, it's
Or
okay.
some kind of weird competitive edge?
It's okay to make alternative costumes. I hate the armor thing that they started with Injustice 2. I hate it because it ruins the actual competition. Like, fighting games are about being technically proficient with your character and being able to overcome the other player's technical proficiency with their character. If you add all of
to,
these,
like, having them look for like the special gear set that
Yeah.
like all the top tier players use because this gear set
Yeah.
is so fucking busted.
it's just an excuse to get you to buy their in-game currency so that
Yeah.
you can buy their loot boxes and
Yeah.
gamble on getting armor upgrades and
Oh.
attachments and stat boosts
Oh my god,
so
the
that
gambling.
you can actually compete in the online game.
Oh my god, the gambling.
Why? Netherrealm.
Corporate greed.
Okay, we should probably get to the news though, because it's been over an hour. I've been having a ton of fun. I'm gonna be honest, but
But
we have some news to get to.
Yeah, the news. How much news do you think we got?
not as much as last week. That's for sure.
Oh yeah,
Last week we were here until midnight, past like 12:30 when
Yeah.
we finished recording because of all the news that was going on. Obviously, last week we had D23, we had the Nintendo Direct,
yeah,
the was it Sony? Blah, 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 what do they call theirs? State of Play.
Yeah,
There
state
it
of
is.
play. That's
Nailed
right.
it. And there was a lot of news, and they had just started the Tokyo Game Show, which we'll talk about today. Not a whole lot there because basically all the directs covered all the news.
Yeah.
So thankfully it's much more bearable today. But yeah, last week there was a lot. There was a lot of news. So if we sounded winded and exhausted by the end, apologies. Nick was so delirious he was like hitting himself in the face with his mic and his phone. It was bad.
There was so much news.
So let's get into it. I should mention that this won't be on the news today, but the Netflix Tudum 2022
Ta-dum.
news dump is being projected today and tomorrow, I believe. So if we do have a fresh episode next week, baby pending, we'll probably have a lot of Netflix news. So
Oh man.
look forward to that. Now, Tekken Game Show, we got more looks at Tekken 8, Street Fighter 6, Suikoden, One Piece Odyssey, which also got a 2023 release date. They all released new trailers and interviews with the creators, which were very fun and entertaining. We got 2 new game announcements. Exo Primal, which is a Capcom mech suit versus dinosaurs action hacker slasher game.
Son of a bitch.
Coming 2023, which we watched the trailer for right before this episode. Boy,
I'm mad.
there's a lot to say there.
I'm so mad.
And The Awakener was announced. The Awakener Arisen, which is coming from Chinese indie developer Tanner Games. Not sure how to pronounce it. It's basically a Souls-esque, Skyrim-esque third-person RPG. It kind of gave me a lot of Kingdom of Amalur vibes with maybe
there's a whole lot of I've noticed this year in particular. There's a whole lot of games coming out of China that I don't know if there was like an embargo before, but like I have never seen like all of these studios come out in force like this.
Well, we know they were investing a ton of money into development studios. They've been gobbling them up left and right. Tencent in particular has been notorious for this. So I think we're just finally seeing the fruits of all that investment, whether it's a good thing or not.
Bears out, yeah.
Unfortunately, they're kind of notorious for buying assets and then using them, basically stealing them and shuttering the domestic studio. For example, purchase a London studio. You steal all the shit that they're developing, send it to China, to your Chinese studio,
so that they can take all of the goddamn profits.
And then you shutter the London studio and say, fuck it.
Yeah.
Yeah. I bought this. This is mine.
You made this? I made this.
So we'll see. Now, this is an indie developer. It's not some big conglomerate, but we'll see.
Yeah. It's just interesting. Like, this is yet another Chinese developer coming with a game that looks like it has a whole bunch of elements that remind you of games that came before, but it has its own unique spin on it, or at least seemingly at the outset. Again, this is all video footage. I don't know how much of this was in game.
Did you think of Forspoken when you saw this trailer at all?
A little bit.
Like especially when they had the wizard witch character or whatever doing her thing.
Yeah, the particle effect spells.
Yeah, I was like, oh, this is like a straight rip of Forspoken's gameplay. I wonder. I
wonder what the deal is.
But we'll see. I'm sure it's totally legit and above board.
Far more legit than fucking Exoprimal!
Oh my god. That game looks ridiculous. What are they doing?
Not making Dino Crisis, that's fucking what? God. Okay, does someone have to basically do what they did to Nintendo to ask them directly? Where is Dino Crisis?
Yes.
God.
Yes.
Guys.
Give us your money.
Just remake it the way you remade Resident Evil 2.
Yeah.
All the gameplay's right fucking there.
Now, I want to be as fair as possible. You know, Exoprimal, it's a unique idea. It's mechs versus floods of dinosaurs. Not robot dinosaurs, just dinosaurs.
Just dinosaurs.
It's a unique idea, to be sure. Is it a good idea? Maybe not. But it's not some old, washed-out franchise that they're just, putting back out there because you're gonna buy it. We may not buy this. In fact, I can almost confirm I won't buy this. But they're taking a chance, and I have to give them at least credit for trying something new. It looks like Dynasty Warriors in a mech suit.
It's
versus exclusively dinosaurs.
It's almost like they watched Jurassic Park exactly one time and went, you know what these characters really needed?
Mech suits!
Mech suits!
Yeah, so speaking of dinosaurs.
Oh no.
In watching Jurassic Park one time, the latest Jurassic Park movie.
Oh no.
Has officially crossed the $1 billion box office mark. The bar is so low now. Top Gun and this terrible Jurassic Park sequel have both crossed $1 billion.
Because I've seen Top Gun Maverick, I understand why it did so well.
Okay.
Jurassic World, on the other hand, especially when you consider the plot, bugs. The main plot is we need to get rid of these bugs that threaten the food supply on the Earth. These bugs who also weirdly carry a genetic marker that this clone child also has.
Convenient.
And for some reason, everyone can just stick out their hands like Chris Pratt, and like the dino will just like, oh, that hand, that means stop, right?
What's the point of the dinosaurs if the movie's about the bugs?
That's a really good question.
Jurassic Park.
Do we get an answer to that?
There was bugs around during the dinosaur era.
We like showing off the dinos. We like showing off the dinos. We like having Chris Pratt just stick a hand out to every dinosaur. Because we totally forgot that the only reason that the Raptor Blue responds to that is because he trained that thing for years.
It doesn't work. You kept talking. I tried.
I'm not a goddamn raptor. It doesn't work on me.
All right. Clever girl.
You son of a bitch. How dare you? Clever girl, me.
Sorry. That wasn't in the news, but I felt, we might as well bring it up.
Might as well bring it up. Okay, here is the thing that I thought you were going to bring up with the bar being so low. Why do we have a series of movies where no one is learning the one lesson that we've been trying to teach this whole goddamn time?
I mean, we're officially 6 movies in at this point, correct?
And no one's just gonna say, hey, maybe dinos and people don't belong in the same time period.
Yeah.
It's almost like
Yeah.
they're really
Maybe.
good at
Maybe.
killing people.
Maybe. Perhaps.
It's almost like trying to domesticate these things is terribly unrealistic.
But I want my raptor fucking walk along on the sidewalk. You see, the problem is that people like the Tiger King exist. And when you live in a world where there's crazy rednecks in the middle of nowhere with a lot of land and a little bit of money, they're going to breed dinosaurs. And they're going to invite children to come pet them, who get their arms inevitably bitten off, and then they're going to go to somewhere else, and then they're going to OD, and they're going to release their dinosaurs out into the wild because they can't put them down. They just love them too much.
Making a zoo where children spectate violent convicts would be safer than a dino zoo.
Yeah, but you know it would happen.
Motherfucker.
You know, in America, it would happen. It's not a question of if. This is the same crazy country that imported giant anacondas and dumped them in Florida.
God damn it.
Here, have a python. Florida.
These snakes don't belong here. Who brought these? Oh my god.
Yeah.
It's dumb.
So speaking of Ohio, what I just described, it actually happened. A guy had a bunch of wild tigers and lions and wolves and all sorts of exotic animals, and then he opened all the cage doors and killed himself. And unleashed just a bunch of predators all over Ohio that had to be individually hunted down one by one and murdered.
Was this the sequel to We Bought a Zoo?
Might as well be.
God.
Ohio.
Thanks.
We're like Florida's little brother. We're a little colder. We're a little nicer.
We might actually back off if you tell us to.
But we're just as crazy.
We're just as nuts. It's real bad, guys.
Yeah. If you're a foreigner who wants to visit the United States, maybe steer clear of Texas, Florida, and Ohio.
Unless you're bad enough.
I mean, if you're bad enough, fucking bring it.
Hey, I'm just saying, if you're a bad enough dude.
We'll give you some Buckeyes while you're here.
Yeah.
All right. Well, other than that, did you want to touch base on any of this stuff? Did you like what you saw out of Tekken 8 and Street Fighter 6? We did get a roster update. They're going to launch with 16 characters, which means they're probably going to release 20 in DLC.
Absolutely.
So,
yeah. Tekken 8 and Street Fighter 6, they look amazing. They look very well crafted. They look like they're both using the same weird flex technology, which is allowing them to flex real hard and make their fucking veins pop to the surface.
oh yeah, that veiny goodness. Sauce me up, baby. I will say this. Ken is fucking depressing. What have they done to Ken? What have they done? They took his wife and kids, made him an alcoholic.
Oh, yeah, like
What have they done?
He's living a ruined life. This man, This man who has devoted all of his life to the way of the fist has proceeded to have himself fisted by life.
That is a wonderful way to explain the experience of Ken's life.
No one has fucked Ken's life harder than Ken.
That's fair.
So much so that we've now gone to the point where we're saying he's entering a fighting tournament to clear his name for a crime he didn't commit? Is he going to join the A-Team next?
Street Fighter.
Tekken 8, on the other hand, it looks real pretty.
It sure does.
I'm really
Very
curious.
polished.
I'm very curious about the lineup. It feels like we finally got rid of Old Man Heihachi, who's been terrorizing the world since the first one back in the 90s.
Don't worry, he'll be DLC.
Motherfuck! Will he finally get his own devil gene? I don't know what they'd do with him except for make him look like even older demonic Wolverine at this point.
Well, pay us $20 and we'll let
Son
you know.
of a bitch!
Yeah. It looks great. Tekken
It looks good.
usually launches with a pretty big roster too, so
Yeah. Theirs is usually significantly more than Street Fighter.
granted, they have not released a new Tekken in a while. I can foresee a world where they start to copy all of the other fighting game developers. I'm looking at you, NetherRealm Studios and Capcom.
Where you release one every console generation.
Yeah. And they just milk you for every dollar.
You're just gonna keep adding to
Yeah.
it.
Oh, you love that classic character, do you? Oh, well, that's a shame. That's a shame.
I hope you like these new characters that you have no connection to at all, because now they're the mains.
You're
And
welcome. If you want the old characters, pay us $20.
Corporate greed!
But don't worry, we'll put it behind like a loot system after you purchase it. So you have to unlock in-game points or buy our currency so you can unlock loot boxes and unlock the character.
Oh, and we're gonna give them costumes that look completely different from the one that you're used to. If you want the costume that you like, pay us money. Pay us more money.
Don't do it to us. Why? Let me love you. Let me love you.
You like the bowling game that we put in this fighting game? Pay us money. You want more things to add on to your Street Fighter OC that we're letting people make now? Where they can just mix and match whatever moves they fucking want? If you want all the clothes you really want, pay us money.
I refuse. I'll just wait until the Ultimate Edition is free on PlayStation Plus. And I'll play it then.
At the end of the console's life cycle.
I'll show you.
We'll see who waits.
Anything else you wanted to touch base on?
Suikoden.
Yeah.
Yeah, good for them. One Piece. Are they ever going to actually find that fucking One Piece?
No.
No. It was like the quintessential, it's not about the destination, man. It's about the journey.
I think it does hold the official record for the longest running manga series, right? I think that's a fact.
I think it's also probably Japan's biggest export at this point.
I wish it wasn't. I'll say that much.
It's like, we get it. This person really knows how to make more One Piece stories. Let's just be pirates on the sea forever. And occasionally find land, because there's way more water on this world for some fucking reason.
Yay!
And I think the writer officially said they're now 2/3 of the way through the story they planned.
That's so ridiculous.
I think they're going to be writing that up until they're fucking 70.
I thought Inuyasha took forever.
Ugh.
Oh, my God.
Oh, no.
Jeez.
Ugh.
Just keeps going.
May we never go back. Never go back.
All right. Well, As promised, we got some Patty Jenkins news.
Ooh.
Disney has removed Rogue Squadron from their release calendar. The movie was set to be directed by Patty Jenkins. It was originally scheduled for release on December 22nd, 2023, but is now no longer found on their future release calendar. This movie was famously plagued with a bunch of scheduling issues with Patty Jenkins and her crew. They just couldn't figure it out, and now it looks like it's not even going to be made, so that's unfortunate.
I mean, if they couldn't figure out the second Wonder Woman movie, I don't know what she was going to do with basically new cops in space.
And then there was Never War Again. I still can't believe that was the ending to the first one.
And then there was Never
War Again.
What about this weird Mandalorian that keeps shooting up places? There was never war again. We're done.
Yeah. I don't know. I'm sure Patty Jenkins is very capable, but
she will always have the Hurt Locker.
Her DC run it left something to be desired.
She had a good first 2 acts of a whole movie.
Speaking of DC ruining my life.
Oh, no.
On a recent episode of Beyond the Trailer from Grace Randolph, she claims that from her sources, which are generally very reliable, they are 90% sure that Henry Cavill will be returning as Superman in the Black Adam movie. In the Black Adam movie.
Oh, are people actually wanting to watch that movie?
Remember when The Rock was talking about, depending on who's playing Superman?
And he got booed.
Do you think this might be a reaction to that?
Hey.
Maybe just a little bit. Just a little bit.
This man literally made his living and his name from being the biggest heel in the world. Of course, he's going to go back to basics and go out of his way to bring in the character who would make his own character the biggest heel in the world.
Well, apparently, according to the rumors, they are planning to do a cameo at the end, very much like Shazam's secret ending. Mm-hmm. Originally, it was just going to be a headless cameo, like Shazam's secret ending, because that's when all the controversy started with all of these franchises, and Snyder was run out of town.
Mm-hmm.
And now, apparently, they will show his face. So,
because they can afford to.
Congrats, Henry Cavill. You're getting another paycheck. Please don't. just let it die. Let the Snyderverse die. Please. Please.
No.
Start again, please. Just take some time off.
You got
build another PC.
You've got Black Adam, Aquaman 2, and The Flash.
The wettest boogaloo. They still haven't killed the Flash movie. They still have not canceled the Flash movie. Why?
Do you want the answer before or after you guess?
If I don't say anything, do I have to go on?
I mean, if you don't go on, I will. Cocaine! Cocaine, people. The only reason that movie is still happening is either because they're trying to make sure that they can control Ezra Miller so that he doesn't talk out of turn and maybe reveal some shit about the studio, or they're so high on cocaine that they think that releasing that what they keep saying is still a good movie, despite all of the terrible press that the star keeps giving them, is still somehow a good idea to release as soon as everybody just shut the fuck up about him. Everybody shut up. Ezra Miller, shut up.
It ain't gonna happen.
I don't care if you think you're Jesus. Just shut
He's not capable of self-awareness.
Shut up! I don't care if you think you're gonna bring the apocalypse by impregnating a Native American child.
He's so crazy. He's so fucking insane.
He's unhinged.
Oh, man.
There is no apology tour that can make watching this movie a good idea. There is no public mea culpa that they can commit. That is a good idea.
You know what I found to be the funniest subplot of all of this DC chaos? Batgirl had a funeral viewing with its cast and crew when they axed it. Obviously, it's going to be a tax write-off, so they can never release it in any financial way whatsoever.
Mm-hmm.
So we'll probably never see it. Ever.
Unless someone wants to sneakily, say that they maybe recorded that whole thing and posted it on the dark web.
But you notice that after they had their funeral viewing, all of the cast and crew that were calling for it to be released shut the fuck up. Did you notice? I noticed. A lot of people were real quiet after they had that press viewing with each other.
They had a viewing that literally made them all shut the fuck up about the movie.
I just imagine Zaslav standing in front of the theater going, I fucking told you. You didn't believe me, did you? You thought, oh, David Zaslav, what a fucking idiot. You were wrong.
There was actually one person who said something. Just one. Who said something after that funeral viewing.
Do tell.
It was Brendan Fraser.
No, Brendan! Don't do it!
And you know what he said?
What did he say?
The lesson that he learned is to only ever work with trusted directors.
Oh my god! Holy shit. Oh, that's bad.
Now, here's the thing.
That's real bad.
That I'm still confused about. I know, and Brendan Fraser, we love you on the show. We do.
We talk about you all the time.
Yeah, you're great as Robot Man. Please, if you play that role to the day you die, I will watch every single time. You're that good. But working only with trusted directors? I mean, you were one of the characters. You knew what they asked you to say. You were there. You're in the movie. You know what you were saying. Dude, come on. You had to have known.
I mean, at some point, you gotta cash the check, right? You can't just give the money back and walk off set when you realize it's a stinker. It's a garbage fire.
Brendan Fraser got a standing ovation for an indie movie called The Whale.
Fat suit.
Fat suit.
Fat suit Brendan Fraser is the best.
Fat suit Brendan Fraser. Got a standing fucking ovation. Don't tell me that you couldn't have easily said, guys, this is bad. Guys, this is real bad.
He's too nice.
They didn't even ask me for a second take. They didn't even make me look at the dailies.
Oh man. Yeah, that's my favorite subplot of all of this. Just the whole Batgirl phenomenon. You know, everybody raising arms, trying to fight for this movie. Then everybody sees it,
movie.
And nobody just crickets.
This is a movie that deserves to be seen. They watch it. What bad movie? I don't know what the fuck you're talking about.
Shut up.
It's done. It's over. It's
Hits you with one of these. So yeah, DC continues to be terrible with its live action movies. We'll see what happens.
Swole dudes.
Yeah, it's a problem. Speaking of DC, hashtag Save Constantine has gone awry.
Oh no.
Warner Brothers Discovery listened to us, but chose the wrong Constantine to use. Warner Brothers Discovery has confirmed a sequel to the Constantine movie starring Keanu Reeves from 2005. Keanu Reeves, director Francis Lawrence, and producer Akiva Goldsman will all be returning. Goldsman will be writing the screenplay.
Will Shia LaBeouf be returning?
What are you doing? What are you doing? That movie is not good. Keanu Reeves is not Constantine. He's not even English. What are you doing?
I don't know.
We're going to get a cross gun.
I
Because they watch Trigun too many times.
God damn it. I don't know why the issues with the rights to this character are so fucking muddled. But, I mean, it's... the cat's out of the bag. We actually know what a good Constantine looks like and sounds like. And acts like.
He exists! His name is Matt Ryan, and he is fantastic. He is Constantine to a letter. Just give him some money and a fucking decent screenwriter and director, and you will have a massive hit. Instead, we're going back to the well with Keanu Reeves.
You know what's fucking wild? Matt Ryan is so good, he almost looks like the person whose face Constantine is based on. It's Sting from The Police.
Keanu Reeves. Hey, I'd like to cast a spell, an incantation. Yeah.
Wait, so you mean just because the one time that I successfully killed myself, that the devil wants to keep me in hell? Forever?
Whoa.
Whoa.
Just why? Just stop it. Did you actually watch the movie that you're trying to make a sequel to? Did you watch it? It's not good. It's not Constantine. I'm not even sure what it is.
That movie just weirdly has him occasionally being accosted by a person that's just a bunch of bugs collected together.
Yeah, it's the Oogie Boogie from Nightmare Before Christmas. Live action Oogie Boogie.
He fucking fights Oogie Boogie.
Oh.
This is the movie you made!
Warner Brothers.
If you had made a better movie, we wouldn't be so fucking mad about this.
See, this is the straw that broke the camel's back. I was all on board for the Keanu sans until this was announced. This is it. It was getting long in the tooth with the John Wick movies. They're going too far.
And he's getting a little bit old.
He's getting very old.
Yeah.
And this is it. This is the official line that I will not cross.
This is the line in the sand for you.
Do not make Constantine 2
the holiest boogaloo.
God damn it. Warner Brothers, DC, get your shit together, please. I'm begging you as a lifelong fan. Please, get your shit together.
You were so abused in this relationship.
I hate them. They're like Anakin in Clone Wars. I hate them. Why? Stop it. All right, we got to get away from DC for a minute because I just can't take it anymore.
I think you need a DC detox.
Oh God. They got to get out of Southern California. Yeah. Get away from the source. Don't go to Miami. That's just as bad. Go back to New York. Still bad, but
I don't want to say it, but I think I've got to because, we're friends. I care about you. Which means I have to tell you. They're never going to give you the Nightwing that you want. They're never going to give you the Constantine that you want.
No, it's not true.
They're never going to do it.
Shut up! It's not true! They'll find their Kevin Feige, and they'll set this right. They'll do right by me. They'll do right by me.
Oh, you said they're gonna find their Kevin Feige? About that.
No! No!
What if I told you that it is entirely possible that their Kevin Feige might be named Dwayne Johnson?
No. No. No, that's not. No.
Grace Randolph put it out there.
Grace, you shut your mouth. I love you, but you shut your mouth. Do not put that thought into the air. Do not give it any atmosphere to breathe. I swear to God.
I mean...
Don't do it.
I mean...
Kevin Hart's going to be Superman.
Oh.
And it's going to be terrible.
They were talking about a black Superman. I didn't know it'd be that one.
Hey, yo, guys. I can't take it. Can't take it. Batman and Robin's going to be like a buddy cop movie. Don't do it, too. Please.
Yeah.
Dwayne, I love you for who you are and what you've done and what you continue to do. Do not do this. I'm begging you. Do not do this. Do not take this project. You are wealthy enough. You will continue to be wealthy. Just keep making Fast and Furious movies and Fast and Furious spin-offs and terrible B-list action movies. Do not touch this.
As devoted as sauce to the gills.
I hope
as he is.
I hope to God you
just
are
so
wrong.
he can be Black Adam. There are rumors that after this movie where he fights the Justice Society, the reason for them having Henry Cavill in that movie is so that they can allude to him fighting the Justice League.
No. No, we're not going to continue this. There's no way. They can't possibly be that insane.
Let the box office decide.
I swear to God.
If it makes $1
there's
billion,
there's at least 12 regular watchers and listeners of the show other than ourselves. Do not go to the movies and see these products. Demand better. I beg you.
I have to be Gandalf in this moment. Let the box office decide.
Oh, God. All right, moving on.
Let's see where the money goes.
I can't handle this anymore.
Are you sure?
Nope.
You can't handle a little bit more?
I definitely can't.
Are you sure?
I'm sure! All right, moving on. Speaking of another company that I am a huge fanboy of that constantly hurts me, Sony has confirmed that at launch, the PSVR 2 will not be compatible with its back catalog of PSVR games. That seems like the most sensical thing you could do is have this new expensive niche hardware be compatible with this large back catalog of VR content that you have already invested in. I get it. You don't have the light system with the camera anymore, and you made it more modern so it can be more cross-generational with the Oculus and the Vive and all these other things. I get it. But these games already exist in those forms on those platforms that are similar to your new device. It should not take that much effort to convert them to your new peripherals, which use basically the same peripherals as the Valve and the Oculus. Why don't you do the sensible thing and make that back catalog available at launch so you have plenty of games regardless of how much initial support you have for your platform.
You know what they're going to do, right? If you bought those games already, they're probably going to make you buy them again.
Remastered.
After they get remastered, remapped, recoded, redone for VR2.
The Ultimate Director's Final Cut Remix Edition. 1.5.
Plus alpha.
Of rigs.
Son of a bitch!
Yeah, so
Yeah.
I get it. Technically, there's a lot of differences between the old hardware and the new hardware that's coming. I get it.
Like, literally, technically.
I get it. And this is very advanced hardware at this point. I'm sure it's very difficult to develop and adapt to, but they already exist on these analogous platforms. It's frustrating. But again, Sony software, not the best at it.
We're gonna see what shakes out. I will say, in looking at an actual trailer for the device itself, it did have me interested.
Yeah, I mean the hardware looks awesome, and the games that are announced for it look great.
It looks like the Oculus. It literally looks like
with better haptics,
with
and
better
higher
haptics.
resolution.
Yes,
Great,
hooray!
good idea.
Let's fucking go for it.
You have a ton of games. Bring them to the platform.
They would need to basically be recoded.
That's fine. People will buy these games on this platform.
Well, I mean, I'm sure they will. But the time that it would take to recode them means that if they do show up, which they probably will, it'll probably be sometime after the system itself has been released.
What are you doing?
Otherwise, they'd have to wait.
See,
They'd have to wait on the companies that make the games to remake the game.
Yeah. I am feeling the presence of the PlayStation 3 era thoughtfulness or lack thereof towards the consumer.
Yeah.
And I don't like it. I think they've been number one too long.
And
they're just starting to get to that peak. You know, the new VR device is already more expensive than a PS5, assuming these price estimates are accurate. They're
from what I
releasing
saw,
it with
was
no
gonna
catalog.
From what I saw, it was going to be as expensive as a PS5.
Well, we'll see.
Yeah.
Well,
Assuming they don't get all bought up and resold.
yeah.
Don't you do it.
They're going to do it.
Don't you do it.
They're going to do it.
I swear to fucking God. Like, if they know what's if they know what's good for them, don't do it. I'll find them.
They're going to do it. I would like to see like a vigilante, like a modern vigilante that's like Daredevil or Batman, but instead of going after actual criminals, he goes after scalpers. Just like burns down their warehouses.
Oh my God.
Where are they? Where are they? They're in my closet.
Why did you buy these games?
Swear to me.
Yeah, we're gonna see what comes out.
Yeah. Speaking of Sony, they're also making terrible movie decisions.
Oh no.
Sony has announced that it will be delaying its announced Spider-Man spin-off films, which continue to be terrible and come out. Kraven the Hunter and Madam Web. Kraven will now hit theaters in October of 2023, which is pushed out from, I believe, December or January of this year. And Madam Web will be pushed to February of 2024, is originally slated for October 6th of 2023. There is also an unannounced Sony Marvel film that has been shifted from July 12th, 2024 to June 7th, 2024. Untitled.
Interesting.
Sony, I know you have the rights to Spider-Man. You gotta use the rights to retain them. We don't need a Madam Web movie. We certainly don't need a Kraven the Hunter movie. You have such a cool catalog of characters that don't have to be Spider-Man. Please. I'm not telling you. I'm begging you. Be merciful upon your audience. You saw how poorly Morbius was received. You've seen how poorly Venom and Venom 2 were received. You know...
They know them dollar signs.
You know that you are bad at this. You've been bad at this since The Amazing Spider-Man. Arguably since Spider-Man 3 of the Raimi trilogy.
Ooh.
Don't do this. Please. Thank you.
Oh, they're doing this.
They're gonna do it. Yeah.
It's already set in stone. They already know what they're doing.
Nobody cares about this. Nobody. I mean, who the fuck knows who Kraven the Hunter is, other than the nerdiest of nerds like us?
The nerdiest of nerds know, until that first trailer drops.
In Madam Web. That's like the deepest of deep cuts of inconsequential characters from the Marvel cinematic. Well, I keep saying cinematic because it's nomenclature now, but the Marvel universe. Like, nobody gives a fuck about Madam Web. Nobody. She doesn't do anything of consequence.
You mean to tell me they have a chance to make a spider-related female character, and it's Madam Web?
It's Madam Web.
Son of a bitch!
You got Black Cat.
Black Cat.
You got Spider-Gwen.
We're definitely not doing Black Cat because we saw how Catwoman did on her own. And we are not doing that again.
Well, that wasn't Sony, though. Sony's would be much worse.
Oh, no! You're not wrong.
But yeah, you got Spider-Gwen, you got Black Cat. Who else am I forgetting?
There's even a character called Silk.
Silk, yeah.
Who's basically better than Peter Parker in every way for some weird reason.
Yep. Sindel. Yeah. Silver Sable.
Silver Sable.
There's a lot.
Yeah.
That would be much more interesting than Madam Web.
The thing with Silver Sable is, I mean, we've already done Black Widow. We're already on our second Black Widow right now.
Yeah, why not have a third?
Motherfucker.
You're not limited.
Son of a bitch. But this one's all silver colored.
Yeah, she's hot.
She's hot and Russian.
It's convenient.
Wait, hot and Russian, and she's a super secret spy or leader of a spy? Or this is Black Widow again.
Yeah, I don't know. I'm an idiot. I'm just a guy talking on the internet. But I feel like Sony has a lot more material they could pull from than Kraven the Hunter, Morbius, and Madam Web. I mean, I understood Venom. I knew they were going to do it poorly, but I understood why they did it.
Right.
They got a big name. They made a lot of money, especially on the first one. They tried to capture that in a bottle again. They kind of failed. But I get it. They were chasing the big bucks with the big character.
Yeah.
Kraven the Hunter? Madam Web? Even Morbius. Like, these are bottom tier characters from the Spider-Man universe. Bottom of the barrel characters.
And the ones who didn't know about Morbius before that movie came out know him from the cartoon, where all the fuck he does is run away.
Yeah.
And occasionally suck people's plasma through his hands.
Oh, man. What are you doing? Sony, you're better than this. Do better. You're not WB.
They're not gonna do better. They're gonna do Morbin 2.
Bloodiest Boogaloo.
Oh, no.
Oh, no.
It's gross.
Oh, well. Speaking of video game news, we got a new Iron Man game that has been announced by EA Motive, which is a Montreal studio. It will be a single-player action-adventure game for the current gen. No release dates have been announced, but we did get a nice little teaser trailer.
Single player. That reduces the microtransaction probability down to maybe like 25%.
That's generous.
That's I'm being very generous.
Just you wait. There's going to be a DLC War Machine.
Oh!
And a DLC Iron Lad.
Oh,
and a
no!
DLC Ironheart.
Oh, no!
It's coming. I don't know. Hopefully it's good. It'd be cool to have a nice, like, genuinely good Iron Man game.
That isn't a VR game.
I don't think Avengers was it.
Oh, absolutely not.
Nope.
I played that game.
Speaking of milking you for every dime you're worth.
Oh, no.
Yeah. Next up on the news, again, speaking of milking you for every dime you're worth, Star Citizen, the Kickstarter campaign that was launched in 2012, has now generated officially over $500 million in crowdfunded revenue. The game remains in alpha status, which it has been in for over a decade, with no release date announced. For context, The Witcher 3, a huge blockbuster game, cost $81 million to develop. Grand Theft Auto 5, which is probably the most profitable game of all time, cost between $80 and $100 million to produce.
This fucking game.
This fucking game.
You know why it's so fucking expensive? People keep pouring money into this shit. What a lot of people don't know is that a lot of Hollywood actors have basically gotten themselves mocapped into this game. Which, as opposed to The Witcher 3, this game actually does have Henry Cavill in it.
Delightful. That doesn't surprise me at all.
And not even a little bit.
He's such a PC gaming nerd.
He is. And you know what?
Maybe that's why he keeps doing DC movies. He needs the money so he can pour it into Star Citizen.
Oh, God. I mean, that would be circular because Star Citizen is paying him to be in the game.
It's like, it's on the house.
I'm working all of these acting gigs to give you more money. Just fucking finish the game.
Yeah, I mean, to be honest, based on the things I've seen of the alpha, it looks cool. It looks like a game. I think at some point you just gotta own it and say, this is it. It's a game. You've been playing it for 10 years.
Art is never finished. It is only abandoned.
We need to abandon it.
We need to abandon ship.
We're $500 million in. That would fund
Abandon ship.
a minimum of 5 AAA titles.
Who is playing this game?
I have no idea.
Because you literally have to spend real world money to get your own ship in the game, where the entire impetus behind this game is that you are a person who sails on a ship where you're traveling to other worlds and whatnot, and occasionally having some other player steal your ship that you paid real world money for and never really ever getting that back.
Yeah. Speaking of robbing people on MMOs, there you go.
Oh,
yeah, it's outrageous.
It's
the most outrageous video game of all time. And Kickstarter, like, you get little Kickstarter tiers if you donate enough to unlock a tier. You don't get anything. You're not investing in it. You don't get anything back for it. You're just spending money hoping something gets finished. That's like doing a Kickstarter for the fucking Game of Thrones books. Like, you're never gonna get them. Quit paying him to not do anything.
God, that man literally got to beta test the end of his series. God damn it.
And meanwhile, he is charging you real world dollars to play the game and test the game for him.
Literally.
And
Literally.
The biggest problem with this is he's competing with himself.
There's literally
Because
no one.
every time he updates it, he's now raised the bar to a point that he can't come back from. So now he has to continue raising the bar before he can take it to beta stage and then ultimately release it.
This is textbook feature creep.
Yeah.
Textbook.
Yeah. This
So
is
it's like when you add to a game for so goddamn long and you keep asking people for more money and keep adding to the game, you keep asking people for more money and keep adding to the game. And it's like, if we keep adding, I got a new idea. We're going to put this other thing in this game too. Give me more money so I can add this new thing to this game. We gotta abandon ship, guys.
You gotta stop. It's a disease.
That's disgusting. 500 million
500 and
for development?
That's just crowdfunding. That's not the profit from the game itself,
Jesus.
which people are
fucking
also pouring
Christ.
millions of dollars into for in-game content.
Why?
All right. Corporate greed, that's why.
Corporate greed.
We miss you, Nick.
We do.
Speaking of Nick, Twitch has banned a certain form of streaming.
I don't know why you're saying speaking of Nick on this one.
He's a Twitch streamer.
Yeah, technically I'm a Twitch streamer too.
It was a stretch. I get it. I'm sorry.
Yeah,
I'm sorry.
You gotta stretch.
Nick,
both
you're
ways.
banned.
Oh no! Wait, why would he be banned?
Nah, I thought it was fun.
Oh no, you banned him because you thought it was fun.
Yeah.
You sound like the people from Twitch. Like, oh, we don't like this one. He said something naughty. He's banned.
His bots are mean to me.
And he's not a pretty lady.
Canceled.
Canceled.
Show me your boobs.
It's the only way I'll uncancel you.
Back to the news. Twitch has banned the streaming of slots, roulette, and dice games and several other forms of gambling that involve betting real money. This follows a recent controversy where a popular Twitch streamer, It's Slicker, confessed to scamming followers and fellow streamers for years out of over $300,000 because he had to pay his own real-world gambling debts. The ban will not take effect right away, however. It will take effect on October 18th of this year. So, if you are a fan of gambling game streamers, or if you are a gambling game streamer, you better work it out by October 18th.
Why is his ban not immediate?
That's a great question.
I would have more shit to say about it, but there's literally a lady who recorded themselves basically engaging in sex on stream, and they were only banned 3 days.
That's wonderful. I love democracy.
What the fuck is Twitch doing? What are the rules?
There are no rules.
Oh my god.
We are the law. Yeah, just thought it was pretty interesting. We should probably bring it up. It does have a lot to do with the world of nerddom and how Twitch in general handles its business.
It's the fact that the ban isn't in effect already. It's the fact that he actually has a day that he can expect to be banned.
Yeah.
In the future.
Yeah.
As opposed to literally everyone else.
Right now. Self-confessed. Scam people out of $300,000. Minimum.
What the fuck?
It's insane.
Oh my god.
I do wonder if there's like an old lady bingo hall though, where you can like bet. Like they give you your own card. They're like, all right, place your bets.
Oh no.
You're betting on live stream bingo on Twitch.
Oh no. That's the future.
That sounds great. I'm going to do it in VR.
Guys, humanity's done. We peaked.
Plug in, drop out.
Oh.
All right. Next up on the news, this is a big one. Gameplay and footage from Rockstar's Grand Theft Auto 6 has leaked, and I mean a lot of it. A hacker attacked Rockstar Game Studios, and yeah, it basically revealed that Grand Theft Auto 6 will be more GTA. It's exactly what you expect. It looks exactly how you think it looks.
Who would have guessed?
And it did confirm the rumors that one of the lead protagonists is a woman, so that's new.
Good for
It
them?
will be a Bonnie and Clyde-like heist simulator for the main game. And I'm sure there will be a GTA Online that is insane and gets broadcast on Twitch constantly, along with the bingo ladies.
Yeah, didn't GTA basically just get turned into the let's create our own like racetrack and just race?
Yeah, Rooster Teeth kind of made that whole GTA Online viable with shenanigans. It's not fun. It's not good to play. It doesn't control well.
It's because the controls are old.
It's just chaotic and ridiculous.
The controls are from like PlayStation 3.
Yeah, they're pretty bad. They're really bad. In fact, I don't know, probably less than a year now. We talked about it. I went back as part of my kind of odyssey to go and reclaim a lot of these titles that I'd played partially and never went back to.
Yeah.
GTA 5 sucks. That game is really hard to play. It is not enjoyable at all to play.
The controls are not intuitive at all.
It's so tanky and blocky, and it doesn't look great. I still can't believe they've released this game like 600 times, and like, it's not fun. And I feel like that's the most important part of a GTA game. Is it fun? No.
Yeah.
GTA 5 is not fun.
Sounds fun in theory. In actual practice,
Yeah, not great. I mean, the snarky humor and the, commentary on American lifestyles. Yeah, I got like a few giggles out of it. It gets old real fast. It gets real old real fast.
Could we maybe have supplanted some of that from that game into the newest Saints Row? Because from what I've seen, that game really thinks it's funny and relatable. It's
Saints Row doesn't know what it is.
It's
If you compare Saints Row 1, 2, 3, 4, and what are we on, 6 now? 7? I forget what the newest one is.
It's hard to tell because they just call it Saints Row.
Yeah. They are drastically different games, trying to rip off other better games.
And failing.
It's a weird franchise.
They're failing real hard.
I think Saints Row 3 or 4 was the one that like was just ludicrous and like bonkers and like your president superhero alien.
Oh.
Yeah.
Oh.
But in a GTA simulator. It's
Guys, we promise we're making a game.
But back to the news story. The reason I bring this up, not only to make fun of GTA in general and how they don't seem to progress, despite all of these years of making huge budget games.
Yeah.
This follows another thread of just hacking attacks that keep hitting these studios. Now, some of it we know, like with the issue with Russia.
Yeah.
They obviously have hacking wars going on kind of in the background between, basically political dissidents and people that want to be activists with Anonymous on kind of the Western side. And then,
of course,
obviously the equivalents on the Russian side that are just basically ruthlessly attacking any company that, or entity that has any connection to the thing they disagree with. I kind of suspect this is partially kind of being instigated by people trying to make a point in that way, or at least make an impact. But it seems very strange that this year in particular has been a horrible year for cyber attacks on video game studios, developers, hardware companies, etc.
I would have been inclined to think that because of this being Grand Theft Auto, one of the biggest games of all time, that they would have had a tremendous amount of security for this game.
You would think.
But it's because of that line of thinking that has me thinking that this might have been an inside job.
It could be. That brings up a good point. This is something I've thought about a lot in recent times with my current job. Is the pandemic launched this kind of reform for the option of working at home. And we know that a lot of these video game developers and, tech companies, they obviously had some success with people working at home and retaining employees and having, improved employee satisfaction with their jobs.
Oh, yeah.
Because they have the option to work remotely, close to their family, and so they can get a lot more talent that they otherwise wouldn't be able to bring in locally. The problem is now that all of your content is out in the world, in the ether, beyond your control. It's not locked in an office with a guard and, security cameras. And any schmuck can be on a bus working on this highly secretive project or typing in his password into a very technical system that you rely on. And somebody can take a picture real quick with their, iPhone and, well, there you go. Your servers are down. So there is an added security element to this that I think a lot of companies are still working on. Obviously, like I said, we're talking about the hackers and the activist hackers that are out there. There's also just hackers that want to wreck shit because they like to see the world burn.
Yeah.
I suspect the GTA leaks are probably those ones that just want to see the world burn because they were curious and they knew they could.
Probably. I will say, though, when it comes to the reform that has happened as a result of the pandemic, specifically because of the ease with which people can work from home, this kind of theft, this kind of heist, if you will, sounds like a fucking Cyberpunk mission.
Wow, you're really in this, aren't you?
I'm really into it. I'm deep. I'm in too deep and I can't get out.
What was the Ubisoft game that was basically GTA but hackers?
Watch Dogs?
Watch Dogs. There you go. It already exists.
Yeah, the thing that was really dour at first, but then got
Bonkers.
way too bonkers.
It went the Saints Row direction.
And it went
Hacker edition.
It went weirdly the New Age Assassin's Creed direction.
Yeah, with the second one.
And
then there's a third one.
Yeah, Watch Dogs
bonkers.
Legion. That's the one. I'm pretty sure you can get the Altair costume.
Of course you can.
Of course.
You gotta have your Ubisoft Club membership, unlock your Ubisoft currency.
Oh my god.
And you can be Altair.
Why do I need to give you my email address and join your little fucking club that doesn't matter to me outside of this fucking game?
Speaking of joining our little club, next up on the news, game publisher 2K has announced a hacking of their servers.
Oh, what?
They have warned all users to change all their associated passwords to protect themselves, and do not click any links or emails sent from their business.
I think it might have been a watchdog attack.
So, about giving you their emails.
Ooh.
Well, now you're fucked. Because you got some email that you thought was innocent from your happy, friendly club development team. And now your computer's fried.
Now you're hacked. Oh,
bank information's gone. Your cell phone information's out there. They got your social security number. You're fucked. To boot, their support website is currently offline. Good luck.
Trying to think of a game from 2K that I would actually play.
NBA. That's the big one.
I mean, I wouldn't play that.
But yeah, it's...
I don't need a game that its only advancement is showing you the sweat on some basketball player's face.
Yeah. It's interesting that all of these companies that are so technically proficient and experienced continue to have these issues. These are issues like, remember when Sony went down? Their whole online infrastructure went down for months.
PS3, that was a infamous data leak.
Did nobody learn their lesson?
Absolutely no one.
Give us your password.
Oh fuck.
So yeah, very relevant news for the gaming world. And if you are a 2K fan or have a 2K account, make sure you change your password. And honestly, you should probably remove your account. just delete it. It ain't worth it. Next up on the news, Marvel has announced that Jeff Kaplan and Ian Springer, who are known for their writing on Disaster Wedding, will be the writing team for Fantastic Four, due out in 2024. Of course, we previously reported that Matt Shakman, who is known for directing WandaVision, will be the acting director for this film. Thoughts, Emery?
When you say known for Disaster Wedding, that kind of makes me worried that the plot of this movie might be about a wedding. I'm worried. I'm worried real hard.
I feel like this is going to be Taika Waititi.
Oh no!
Just with new people. And it's going to be a comedy cringe fest.
Oh no!
In a movie that should be resetting Marvel's cinematic universe for the future.
That man put a goat screaming in fucking Thor Love and Thunder like 8 separate times.
Yeah.
Please don't do it.
They're gonna do it.
Please.
They're gonna do it.
I used to believe in you. I used to believe.
I do give Marvel a lot of credit that they give a lot of new talent, writing talent, directing talent, opportunities to do their thing and shine. But when you're talking about the big stuff, the stuff that has to be a lock, that has to be good to maintain the interest and momentum of the Marvel Cinematic Universe in this current state, you should not be bringing in the B-tier guys that still have to prove it.
Yeah. Marvel is supposed to be where if you are established or if you have a vision that just has to be told, Marvel's the place to do it. If the thing that you have under your belt is Disaster Wedding, whatever the fuck that is,
it's a B-tier comedy.
Oh my god. Guys, no. Guys, look, we have been trying to make the Phase 4 the joke phase this whole goddamn time. And I get it. I do. Like the climax of a 10-year-long movie cycle, it got to the point where half the universe was killed and half the universe was fucking brought back. Suspiciously, the plan only worked thanks to a certain mouse hitting the right button on the right machine.
Convenient.
Mickey, I'm looking at you. But we do not need more failed attempts at comedy. That's the thing that I don't think they get. Thor Ragnarok was an anomaly. Thor Ragnarok should not have worked. I'll actually go on record to say there are a few ways when you look back at it that it doesn't work.
I thought that from the beginning. Go back to our review.
Yeah.
You want to hear those thoughts? I think my thoughts aged quite well.
They did. They did real hard, and I'm worried about Fantastic Four. I want it to be good.
Yeah, we all do. But I feel like with every project, I'm losing more and more faith in them.
Oh.
Everything doesn't have to be a joke. It's okay to have levity. You're great at levity. We know you're going too far.
I don't want to have to put this pressure on Black Panther Wakanda Forever, but you gotta stick the landing. You really gotta stick the landing. I wish this wasn't the position that your movie was in, but there's been a whole lot of bullshit between WandaVision and now. Like a whole lot of bullshit.
A lot. Good luck.
Good
we
luck.
have high expectations for you. Don't disappoint us.
High hopes. We have high hopes.
So you don't expect anything. High hopes, low expectation.
Look, I saw those fucking footy wings, man.
Speaking of making the landing, Nintendo has announced that the first trailer for the new Mario movie will premiere at the upcoming New York Comic-Con on October 6th. As we know, it has a lot of star power behind it. Chris Pratt, yes, the Raptor Whisperer himself, will be the voice of Mario.
I'm real worried.
Yeah, I'm very worried. This is not going
to... They've had one guy voice Mario ever since, like, the Nintendo 64. And it's... Once you've gotten used to that sound for, like, 2 decades...
Here we go!
Here we go! Let's go!
I really chaotically want there to be an ugly Mario, like there was an ugly Sonic on the first trailer.
Oh no!
And there just be a chaotic fan backlash that Nintendo famously does not listen to.
Oh!
That's what I want.
You want to see Nintendo take the fall?
I want to see them fall. They deserve to fall. Blast processing, bitch.
Where is F-Zero? Oh, see. They have exactly one chance to fuck up and then turn it all the way back around, assuming that they listen. If they don't listen after the
they
fuck
won't.
up...
You know they won't.
It's just,
this is Nintendo.
If they don't listen... after what will most likely be a fuck up from that first trailer, Nintendo's never gonna make a movie again.
That's probably okay. It's probably a good idea. But we will see.
We'll see.
I don't imagine an animated movie can fuck up that hard. But there's always the chance.
I don't know if I want to trust that fungus.
And I want it to happen. Please. I want Butthole Yoshi. I want Ugly Mario.
I mean, they know Yoshi swallows things and very quickly poops them right out, right?
They're going to have to do it. They're going to have to animate the butthole. Do it.
They do
Nintendo,
know
it's a great idea.
Most of that game is spent crushing turtles very violently to death by jumping on them, right?
Goombas. I want the live action Goombas to appear. Do it.
Are they going to call them Goombas? Oh, and that's not even the half of how fucking nuts it is. Speaking of nuts, do you know what a tanuki is?
I sure do. Live action tanuki balls.
Live action tanuki suit Mario?
Do it.
I fucking dare them to make him fly by pulling his fucking ball sack from behind him up above his head.
At this point, I kind of want there to be a live action Mario starring Chris Pratt pulling his tanuki ball suit over his back and flying through the air. That would be amazing. I would go see that. Nintendo, that's a great idea. It's a freebie. You take that from me. You make that into reality.
It's a great idea. It's a freebie. And it actually does kind of depict some ancient Japanese folklore and myths.
Hooray.
Hooray.
Educational.
educational, true to the myth.
But also, that's perfect for that. He's perfect.
He would be perfect.
Oh, that's amazing. Moving on.
No, hold on now.
We should probably move on. You're gonna hemorrhage at this point.
He's not even gonna sound Italian.
No.
He's not even gonna sound Italian.
No.
This is gonna be bad. This is gonna be so bad.
Yeah. Yeah.
Look, Sega listened. Sega does what Nintendo don't.
That's another great t-shirt, man. We really gotta find like a t-shirt printer and just fucking go to town. That's amazing.
That is literally a pull all the way from the fucking 90s advertisements. This is how Sega Genesis made money.
Sega listen, Nintendo don't. I'm dying inside. A little bit outside too. My poor pregnant wife is probably being kept wide awake by our cackling.
It's bad.
Worth it.
Worth it.
Next up on the news, this one's a little bit more boring, but hey, got to talk about it. Xbox has released a new update that reorganizes the game libraries. Of course, PlayStation Network just did this like a month ago, so following suit.
Yeah.
I know that's been a frequent complaint. It's the organization of your library and the storefront. It also allows for color customization on the Elite Series 2, the controller, and allows users to designate specific memory storage locations, which is pretty cool. And updated the party chat noise suppression for the previous generation consoles. So new generation consoles already had it, but now previous generation consoles have it too. So very cool to see a nice update for the Xbox ecosystem. So definitely take advantage of that. We've received some details about the Splinter Cell reboot that was previously announced via a listing for a scriptwriter. The listing describes a modern representation of the Black Operative following a similar premise to the original 2002 title. No release timelines have yet been announced, however. And while I was typing up this news, I discovered in the description of the original 2002 title that Sam Fisher was an NSA agent. As in Snowden.
Well, hold on.
As in data center tech nerd NSA.
Wait, now wait just a goddamn minute. What the fuck do you mean? He was an NSA agent.
He was an NSA agent.
What the fuck kind of NSA agent leaves their desk, puts on that fucking fantastical wetsuit that he's always
Scuba
rocking.
Steve.
Scuba Steve suit.
With his rave lights.
With his fucking rave lights that would be very clearly visible in the dark. And engage in these Black Ops wet work missions.
In foreign countries.
When an NSA operative would use someone else from the fucking Navy SEALs to do that for him.
Speaking of Navy SEALs, they emphasize that he is a retired Navy SEAL commander.
If you retired and you work for the NSA, you're never... Let me put this out here. You know this better than anyone. You are never doing field work.
Yeah, of course. To be fair, in 2002, nobody knew what the fuck the NSA did. They didn't know it was a bunch of pencil necks behind a computer screen and these giant, expensive data centers collecting all of your phone calls and emails and text messages.
To the point where it was very commonly referred to as no such agency. That was literally a thing that entered the modern zeitgeist because nobody knew who the fuck was in the NSA. Nobody knew what the fuck the NSA were doing. Which also leads me to believe, if that's an NSA agent, why the fuck is Snowden hiding?
That's a great point.
Yeah, unless
Snowden, we need answers.
Yeah, unless Snowden is what an actual NSA agent is, and Sam Fisher's entire story is completely bullshit.
No. No.
No.
This has the Tom Clancy name on it. Clearly, it's well researched, well written. They wouldn't make a mistake like that.
Did Tom Clancy make the character?
No.
Did Tom Clancy write a book that would allude to a character like this?
No, but somebody else did.
Somebody else made and wrote a character, but it's under Tom Clancy's name.
Yes. But don't worry, we have some supporting novels to give you some depth and some backstory.
To Sam Fisher?
Yeah.
Is he still an NSA agent?
Yes. Don't worry, I'm sure David Michaels did a lot of research for this.
Hold on. David... Who the fuck is David Michaels?
Well, I'm glad you asked, Emery, because David Michaels is not a person. It is persons. David Michaels is a pseudonym for multiple other authors that were not named in the publishing.
You mean to tell me that this fake-ass operative...
Yes.
With this nonsensical backstory...
Yes.
Was made by committee?
Yes.
And not by Tom Clancy?
No.
But it's in a game with Tom Clancy's name on it?
Yes. And in a world of espionage and misdirection, we use a pseudonym of a collection of authors named David Michaels to elaborate on this very confusing, vaguely detailed description of our hero, Sam Fisher.
Patrick Stewart, you've been awfully silent this whole time. Do you have anything to add to this? No, I didn't think so.
Yeah.
Look, none of this makes any fucking sense.
So,
what the fuck is happening?
In the
I
update,
feel like I'm losing my mind just reading what this character is supposed to be.
in the reboot,
In the reboot,
my humble request,
that will never get listened to.
do not make Sam Fisher a member of the NSA.
I can almost guarantee you they're going to stick with that.
So, yeah, you can look it up. Go look it up. He is an NSA agent committing foreign, on the ground, in field political espionage.
This has to be the work of a bunch of people who have never had any affiliation or association with the armed forces or with the military or with working for any such government agency.
Yeah, the only explanation that makes sense to me is just nobody knew what the NSA was in 2002.
They
That's
just
the
thought it
only
fucking
way.
sounded cool.
And then once they committed to it, they were stuck.
They were stuck
Like,
that whole fucking time.
We already said he's part of the NSA. He's part of the NSA.
It's like,
Can you imagine? I love it.
the disrespect.
Moving on.
I'm not even the one in the military.
Next news item. The Dark Souls 3 Steam servers are down yet again. Again, speaking about all these hackers and security issues, this follows an 8-month period where the servers were down due to an exploit that allowed other players to take control of the user's PC when they invaded your game.
Oh.
The sources of the issue has
Oh, shit.
not yet been found.
Oh, that is not the invasion you would expect, but with Dark Souls, I always thought eventually it was going to happen to someone. That an invasion was going to be so fucking real that you just completely take control of your entire goddamn system.
We've become meta with our Dark Souls invasions. That's amazing.
I mean, at the very least, it's fucking believable.
And the final piece of news, Square Enix has delayed its release of Valkyrie Profile Lenneth, the remaster. It is now coming in December 22nd. It will no longer launch aside the upcoming PlayStation title and exclusive Valkyrie Elysium, which is coming September 29th, so next week. The remaster was a bonus for those who pre-ordered Valkyrie Elysium Digital Deluxe Edition. It's worth noting that the game will also receive free DLC on November 11th to, I guess, be a goodwill measure that will coincide with the release of the game on PC. So, if you were looking forward to Valkyrie Profile Lenneth, unfortunately you'll have to wait a little bit longer as they want to polish it up a little better for you.
And yeah, they're probably polishing it all the way up to like the last final day.
They sure will.
Yeah.
I mean, it's it's 2 days before Christmas Eve.
Good luck, Square.
That's a bold move.
Yeah, it's a bold strategy, Cotton.
Not sure if that's a good idea for sales, but hey.
And we'll see if it pays off.
Good luck to you. All right. Well, that wraps up all the news for this week. Hope you enjoyed. Of course, if you did enjoy, make sure you like and subscribe and rate well elsewhere.
Like and subscribe.
Now it's time to give out the prestigious, nay, life-changing award of Comic Cover of the Week. This week, we have from Boom Studios, Briar #1, the 50-copy Friezon cover. This one, of course, done by Jenny Friezon, previous winner of the bold, nay, life-changing award of Cover of the Week.
Well.
This cover is awesome. It's creepy. It's eerie. It's scary. There's snakes. There's bugs. There's frightening creatures all about. And a terrified-looking woman in a very corpse-like pose.
Considering what the synopsis is, it would only make sense.
Well, as always, we will read out the synopsis, of course, coming from freshcomics.us. What if Sleeping Beauty never got her happily ever after, and instead had to save herself? Set in a brutal fantasy world that time forgot, this isn't the fairy tale you know.
So like a D&D campaign.
Everything's D&D with you.
Look, I'm just saying, the beginning of the quest is right there.
That's fair, dog. That's fair.
Also, the idea of being Sleeping Beauty, who for some reason doesn't die just from malnutrition alone, and waking up with all of this bullshit that just happens to fly onto you because you're exposed to the elements.
It's the best fasting diet of all time.
Just, sleeping.
Just nap.
For years?
I wonder if the snake, I'm not gonna go there.
I'm not
gonna go there.
No!
I'm just saying it needs a home.
How dare you?
I'm a terrible human being. Love you.
No, you don't.
If you would like to send your lewd Briar fan art to Emery,
no!
Please email HitTheBooksVids@gmail.com. But back to the art. Art is
that's
great.
going to go directly to you.
I plan on it.
I'm sure you did.
Once again, this art is great. Jenny Friezon did a wonderful job with this cover. Definitely pick it up at your local comic book shops.
Again, please support your local comic book shops.
And look forward to this release on Wednesday. All right, that wraps up another mediocre edition of Hit the Books Podcast.
Still nothing from you, Sir Pat Stew. Still nothing.
His silence says 1,000 words.
Oh, Captain. How mediocre of you to just leave us in silence like this. How could you?
Thank you all for watching and listening. Be sure to go to our Twitter at HTBVids. Tell us what you think, what you want to see, what you want to talk about, what you want to hear. Let us know at HTBVids. On Facebook at /HitTheBooks. You can reach out to us by email at HitTheBooksVids@gmail.com. You can visit our website, HTBVids.com. You can find us on YouTube, on Stitcher, on iTunes, on Spotify, on Podbean, on Amazon Music and podcast services of your choice. If you would like to find us somewhere else, be sure to shoot us a message and let us know. We'll try to get on there.
And also tune in every Tuesday to twitch.tv/those natural ones for every single episode of an adventure where we could all die.
8:30 Eastern Standard Time every Tuesday. And of course, you can watch the recap on the YouTube channel as well. Link in the description. Thank you all for watching and listening. Once again, Nick, we miss you. We'll see you in a few weeks. Goodbye.
Star Trek Picard, really? You just keep saying yes to this?
Don't be rude to our guest.
Hey. I watched it.
I apologize, Sir Pat Stew. Don't listen to him.
I don't. You already told fucking Hugh Jackman that you were also done with being Professor X, but Picard you come back to?
He also came back to Professor X.
Motherfucker! Where he died in the chair.
He sure did. Snap.
It's the wrong snap.
That one didn't bring anybody back.
Oh, no.
Goodbye. That was 3 hours. There was no news. We rented that much.
Fucking,
By ourselves.
There was a lot to fucking talk about.
We didn't even have Nick.
She-Hulk hurt me.
It sure did. It was the entire episode.
God.